The more I hear that intro, it's like ding. I think there should be like a ding at the end of it. I don't know. Maybe I watch too many commercials. Hi everyone. I know that sometimes when this goes live, you don't see the little intro video that I tend to ramble about. It's cute. Just see it on the replay. It's fine. But I am here in beautiful Orlando, Florida, where it is okay, brace yourselves everyone. It is hot, it is muggy. It is randomly raining throughout a day. And so if it's May and if it's just uncomfortably warm, we must be at Sapphire. SAP Sapphire has the event. It's like I don't know. We apparently really enjoy the weather here. We enjoy the OCC. And there are a lot of times that people could say, oh, Sapphire's been doing this for such a long time. They bring the user groups together. A lot of people are here trying to figure out just some of the biggest problems, right? And they're in here for meaty decisions, right? I'm trying to, get up to speed on my supply chain. I'm looking at ERP. I'm looking at all of the things, all of the guts, all of the hard stuff that makes businesses run. And I think for several years, the conversation has really centered around where you were doing those really hard things. Were you in cloud? Were you on-prem? Were you in ABAP? Are you in ECC? Are you in S/4HANA? Are you in public cloud? Dominated the conversations that we would have here at Sapphire. And those conversations got more intense as AI became more prevalent, and reasonably and understandably so. You really are not unlocking just all of the massive opportunity that AI and AI agents and co-pilots and assistants, generative, agentic, you're not really unlocking that if you're still sitting there sweating, I have to run completely on-prem. I can't get on the cloud. There's no way I can go on this transformation journey with SAP. And over the years, SAP has given a lot of thought and very intentional programs to help their customers do that migration. I think we've, several of my colleagues, Holger Mueller especially, has talked about all of those journeys and all of the hard work that those journeys really mean for the developers, for the organizations, for the infrastructures, all the programs that run on them. We could have done the same thing this year, right? I think Sapphire really ran the risk of kind of being the same Sapphire. It ran the risk of being another Sapphire where we talked about a different program that got you from here to there, from there to here. It could have been a Sapphire where, as the world and arguably SAP and their applications talk about AI, talk about the optimizations, the efficiencies, the difference that AI can make in your business operations, they ran a real risk of letting customers feel left behind. And I got to tell you, I am pleasantly surprised that I get to sit here tonight recapping my SAP Sapphire experience and saying, that was not what happened here. You didn't have groups of people feeling left behind. You didn't have content or keynotes trying to remind people how they have to migrate and you got to move, we got to get to the cloud. It wasn't that conversation. Instead, the conversation was, where and how can you start to achieve? Where and how can you start to unlock and tap into all of these AI efficiencies, these AI opportunities from exactly where you stand today? I really liked that conversation. And I have to say, I also really like where a lot of that conversation started, and it's really going to be in the front door and that entryway that is now Joule. When Joule was introduced a couple years ago, it was really almost like a chat interface. It was a way to be able to query and search and ask your SAP solutions hard questions and get answers back. And it was great. But just like the rest of the world has evolved beyond AI as a conversational chatbot, Joule has also had a major glow up. And if you didn't think Joule was important, if you didn't think Joule was going to be the star of the show, let me tell you, the marketing and events team here at Sapphire made sure that you saw that diamond every single time you turned around. And she is purple and she is gorgeous and she is sparkling and you can't miss her. But what I thought was interesting, nobody wanted to miss her. This wasn't a chat bot that you're trying to avoid. It's not, no one was sitting there being like, gosh, should we liken it to Clippy? Although I really still object to the hatred towards Clippy. Stop it. Clippy was rad. But back to Joule. Joule has really started to not only be the front door, the place you ask a question. It's actually the place where work happens, and hence the introduction of Joule Work, where you can actually start those deep queries, but you can also start to evolve and establish new requests, new orders, new flows. Joule has been spread across the entirety of the SAP infrastructure, all of its applications, all of its layers, and it's all thanks to what it can pull up from this really robust data layer. Now, we've long heard, and last year, the talk of the town was SAP's Business Data Cloud, and that has really evolved as well. It's really become very integrated into this center of knowledge, this center of reasoning that sits at the core of SAP's AI platform, an AI business platform. There is not enough time in this video, in my chat with you, to truly share all the announcements and all the innovations and all the new that SAP has introduced. I highly encourage you to go back through Twitter, go check out what we've been posting for the last couple of days. Certainly check out feedback and insights from my colleagues, Holger Mueller and Mike Nee, who are on the ground with me. I'm going to share just a couple of highlights of some of the announcements that really stood out to me. Let's go first through a CX lens. Autonomous CX is here, according to SAP. The CX portfolio, as I have shared a couple times now, has certainly gone through a major overhaul over the past several years. They have very intentionally moved to this really composable, robust, just really solid foundation of architecture, so that no matter where you are in an enterprise, you can sell, you can service, and yes, you can now engage. SAP CX's Engagement Cloud it's a solid, tight offering. Whether you are a B2C organization, whether you are B2B, it's a great opportunity to take a look at the portfolio, especially if you are an SAP customer. Here's the interesting thing about the autonomous CX opportunity. They have released numerous agents and assistants that are really compilations and collections of skills that are very focused on outcomes, both efficiency and process-based, that spread across various areas. Let's say revenue optimization and management. Let's say customer engagement and experience delivery, service. These agents are not intended to be tethered to that specific function. In fact, they cross those functions very intentionally, and they even cross both into and also then connect the CX portfolio and the teams that operate within that portfolio of a CX solution into finance, into supply chain, into operations, into field service. You guys know there are just certain things that I dig about my coverage, and I dig about what I get to talk about. Field service management is absolutely one of them. CPQ is absolutely one of them. I got to talk about both this week, not through the lens of what they do operationally, but how they get connected in a system like SAP CX, so that when a customer configures something and gives that high fidelity signal, that can transit, that can actually tie all the way into that field service technician who now gets to see everything that customer has experienced thanks to our connected system and thanks to these agents that are pulling all of these moments and all of these opportunities together. You got to check out the portfolio of agents that are not only available today, but also those that will be coming up. I think the other really impressive thing that SAP's CX team has understood was there needed to be innovation in commerce, and they've certainly brought that. Now, y'all know Ray Wong is normally the person who's going to come out here and talk to you about commerce, but I am going to leave a little note because Ray was not able to join us here in Orlando. SAP has long been a commerce platform that has been well ahead in those large enterprise environments. And there are a lot of things that are very complicated, need to be highly scaled. You have, massive complexity in these commerce scenarios. But what was released was commerce for cloud ERP. This is very specifically an out-of-the-box solution that is purpose-built and, quite frankly, ideally built for the mid-market. Now, I said two things: commerce. So yes, it's Commerce Cloud, and the second part being for cloud ERP. When you're on SAP's cloud ERP, this is now natively integrated. You are not having to search around. You don't have to deal with like, oh my gosh, where do I go get this cart? Where am I going to pull in all of my ERP data into my commerce, and vice versa? It's right there. It's neatly packaged. It is hot. And I certainly think this is going to be on a short list for a lot of folks to go look at. Last thing I'm going to mention about the CX announcements here that I loved hearing were the partnerships. And I cannot leave this video without mentioning that SAP CX has expanded its partnership with AWS, and for Service Cloud now has integrations with none other than our friends over at Amazon Connect Customer, also known as, well, OGC, if you know, you know. So now we're talking about a massive amount of data from something like Amazon Connect Customer. Another solution, another composable solution that does not require all of that customer engagement and all of that customer connection through the contact center to be only owned in or by the contact center. Enterprise ready, waiting for all that data to come in, now available in your SAP Service Cloud environment. It's a big deal. I like this partnership a lot, and I'm going to be watching it very closely. I'm sure right now Balaji and both PQ are like, oh God, please don't. But I'm going to be watching it very closely because I'm actually very excited about it. The last thing I want to talk about is this. Okay, we made jerseys. So SAP, the center point for Sapphire every year is an experience center. And what they'll usually do is kind of pick a theme to where everything can come together. And maybe it's make an ice cream. Like one year we made ice cream and you were sitting there watching, and then you'd realize, oh my God, we're making ice cream, but we're out of strawberries. Where do we get our strawberries? And so through the SAP interface, you're able to see in real time, oh my God, I need to go get strawberries from over here. I should probably go do it. And then where am I getting that? Where am I getting the ice cream? And at the end of the experience center, you got ice cream. Well, this year we were looking at massive events like FIFA's World Cup. You got through everything. You understood that there was a block and a water pipe during a facility. You had robots and physical AI going and fixing everything. You had all of the signal, all of the interconnection between the planning, how to get finances reconciled, how to make sure that you could actually build a concert tent in the, outside of the arenas park. It really looked to capitalize and really capture on the depth and breadth of SAP's operational capabilities from ERP through experience and how all of this was going to come together. It was a really great time. It was a really great experience center. But the lesson for me came at the very end, because at the very end, you could design your own jersey. You could put your name on it. You could put a number on it. I got it, of course, for my daughter, Reagan. R in her name, right? So I happen to notice the jerseys going down. They heat press all of you can put a number on there. You can do all the things. So I'm watching the robot pick out the letter, put it on the shirt, pick out the letter, put it on the shirt. And I notice it gets to the R and it looks like it picks up something and it puts it on the shirt, but there's no letter. It has not put anything down on the shirt. And it's going through the rest of its thing, and it gets to a point where it's checking its work. And it's like ready to press. No, you're not. You missed 2 letters. And so I have to say to the guy that's behind the heat press, hey, it's wrong. You're out of R's. And he looks down and he's like, oh, I haven't gotten to that yet. Hang on. And he hits the red button and everything stops. And he goes and he carefully places the R where it needs to be. He hits the button and the robot springs back to life. And the workflow and the process continues. And I kept thinking to myself, what better way to remind everybody that even in the most complex workflows and the complex operational systems that rely on supply chain and finance and operations and HR and marketing and sales and service and commerce, that every once in a while you still have to get a human to go refill the R's. It's going to keep happening. And no matter how many alerts could have told him and could have proactively reminded him that you needed to reload the R's, you still ran out of R's. But there was always multiple ways to go back and make sure that you didn't waste, that you didn't destroy the process, that you didn't ruin someone's experience, that you didn't send my kid home with a jersey that didn't have an R on it. It's kind of what we're trying to figure out here at SAP Sapphire. How do we bring automation and AI into all of these really complex environments without making anyone feel like they're left behind, that they got sent home with a jersey that didn't have a letter on it? How do we make sure that humans are still in the loop, but that they're still feeling like they're living in the future? I think that the leadership here has really worked hard to figure out that balance. And I will say that Christian Klein and Thomas Sauerseg and all of the executive board leaders and everyone from Sebastian and Mohammed Alam, listen, the whole team, I think this is the big battle they've been fighting. How do we look down all of this complexity, not leave anyone behind, but make sure that everyone understood that for SAP, the future is the agentic enterprise, and they're going to do everything they possibly can to help you enjoy it. So, to the AR team, as always, absolutely adore you guys. Such a great time, such a great use of time. So to Jen, Shirley, Tim, if I start naming everybody on the team, I'm going to leave someone out and someone's going to get mad. So I'm not going to do that. But happy birthday, Shirley, once again. And to the whole SAP team, thanks so much for having me yet again in balmy Orlando. And hey, until next year. Now I got to end this. See, I never know where the button is. Probably need AI for that.